I lost my ears at age 20 when I decided that spending 45 minutes each and every morning gluing my ears onto my head was impractical. It was the biggest decision I've ever made in my life, so let's start from the beginning. I was born with microtia, where I don't have fully formed ears. And it always bothered me that kids would come up and tease me. They would make fun of my peanut-sized ears. Or when I would go to public areas and see families and their kids looking at me with their eyes on my ears only to awkwardly look away when I make eye contact with them. I guess if you're going to look, admit that you're looking. Growing up, my peanut-sized ears were very, very noticeable. And I do everything in my might to not strike a conversation around my ears. I didn't want to make conversations about it, and I didn't like my ears to be a talking point. My self-esteem was low, my self-confidence was not where it needed to be. I didn't enjoy being an outcast in school or the places that I go to. As I was about to transition to high school, I was recommended by an ENT, ear, nose, throat specialist, to see an anaplastologist, a big fancy title that I had no idea what they do. As a kid, I thought it was someone called Anna who's also a plastologist. It turns out that an anaplastologist is a subject matter expert that specializes in creating custom prosthetics. In short, anaplastologists make prosthetics. My doctor said it was probably a very good idea to get an anaplastologist to make prosthetics for me to cover up the peanut-sized ears. I felt no shame wearing prosthetics. Instead, it gave me some hope that one day my ears would look just like my friends. The ears that I got from the anaplastologist were huge and enormously big. I was pretty excited though the first time I got my hands on them. It was like Halloween every single day. I wear them every day I go out or when I go to school, and I remove them whenever I'm home. But the process of wearing them and applying the adhesive is pretty arduous. The ears that I got were so big that it had to also cover up the existing ear, the peanut-sized ear that I told you about. So it was basically putting a big giant prosthetic over a peanut-sized ear like that. Pretty hard to push in. That also meant applying adhesive every single morning. In addition, I had to wash my hair because adhesive doesn't go well with oily skin or oily hair. My morning routine as a teenager from 13 to 20, I would spend 45 minutes each and every single morning in the bathroom applying adhesive, washing my hair and brushing my teeth and getting ready for the day. In contrast, my friends would spend at most 5 minutes. 5 minutes in the bathroom, but I would spend 45. My morning routine took a long time. And the ear gluing part was never perfect at all. The ears could come off if I don't position it in the right way. If I don't hold it on long enough, it could fall off. Sometimes it doesn't like being on. Also, at times when there's acne buildup or something, it just made it more painful. And when there's bumps and stuff, it doesn't like to stick on. So it's never perfect and it was never a really good experience. It's also a lot of responsibility and it's not practical in the long term. So at age 20, when I graduated from high school, I went to see the ear, nose, throat doctor again, and also the anaplastologist. Both of them recommended me to remove my existing ears and opt in for something that they call a Fistafix. Because at age 20, when I recognized that spending 45 minutes each and every morning is just not practical, I need to start a career. I recognize I can't spend 45 minutes each and every morning doing this, especially with the added commute to work, to and from. It's just too much for me. So that's why the doctors recommended me to remove those existing ears so I have a flat surface, and on these flat surfaces they would implant three abutments on each side. These 3 abutments would then hold on to the prosthetic ears that you see today. On a flat surface, that meant no need for gluing, no need to apply any adhesive. It's just a much more straightforward process. So at that point, I elected for surgery. I removed my small ears and now I have abutments on each side of my head. 3 on each side and 1 extra one for my hearing aid. Who said Frankenstein was the only person with screws on their head? There's also me. From this point forward, wearing the new ears has significantly improved the quality of my life. I'm able to sleep in, sleep over at my friends' places, or simply hang out at my friend's place without worrying that my ears could come off at night. It's an amazing feeling. I felt so empowered. I felt that my confidence skyrocketed, and bit by bit, it gave me the courage to be the best version of myself. I'm grateful for the doctors and the anaplastologists who looked over my situation. They gave me the best recommendations for me. I was really proud to live today with these ear prosthetics. And I often get comments that these ears are just like real ears, and people don't know they're prosthetics until I mention them. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe to Let There Be Ears to follow along on my Microtia ear prosthetics deaf and hard of hearing journey. No ears, no fear. Until next time. Goodbye.